Right, welcome everyone to Purple Acorn Live here at SHRM 2025 in San Diego. I'm here with Kenneth Latimer from BambooHR. How are you today?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. It's been a great event so far.
Yeah, we're so happy to have this episode brought to you by VirgilHR. So for folks who don't know you, can you tell us a bit about who you are and tell us about BambooHR?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Kenny Latimer, Director of Product Marketing at BambooHR. I've been there for the past 7 years. And a lot of what I do is understanding the challenges that HR professionals face on a daily basis and thinking about how our software can help solve some of those challenges. But because at Bamboo, we're really about building something that helps people be set free to do great work. That's our mission that we're constantly talking about at our organization. So we've built a platform that allows for companies to be able to grow and scale and solve those challenges, all from a single system. So
amazing. And here at SHRM, what are some of the challenges that you're seeing HR professionals facing?
Yeah, we are at so many different challenges. Obviously, the topic of AI is coming up quite a bit. I presented on AI last year. I did it at one of these different theaters, and it was at that time a little bit in its infancy, and HR was trying to figure out what is this AI thing and how's it going to impact my job or my employees. And now it's turning into something that's transformative, and it's changing the way that we work. It's changing the way that we interact. And so that's turning into a big challenge. The other is really around compliance, both compliance domestically and internationally, understanding compliance from an intelligence perspective, from training, and also from automation. That's a big challenge with how the world keeps shifting. And the other that we hear quite a bit is around talent, and really about both going out and finding that talent, hiring that great talent, but also retaining that talent, and companies feeling like they need to build an experience and a thriving workplace that can ensure people want to join and stay at their organization.
I mean, I think anyone who's been doing HR forever, but especially in this market, can really see that those are really the main challenges that we are facing right now. A lot about the retention and compliance, and a lot of what you spoke about is really kind of like the conversations I've been hearing around as well. So how do you see the need for domestic compliance evolving in the HR landscape of today?
Yeah, because we've seen that great need, we've actually, I know that sponsor for this is VirgilHR. We actually partnered with VirgilHR to provide that service free to all of our customers to ensure that they have access to the intelligence that they need so that they both understand how the employment laws are changing. They can have access to handbooks and different libraries of resources. And so we know how important that is for companies to be able to have that. But we also see that it's not only the compliance intelligence, but like I was talking about earlier, it's also about providing the training that they need. So we're looking at partnerships there with tools like Easy Llama, or we're looking at automation with I9 and some of the and other ACA and those tools. It's a full gamut of needs across the compliance space, and then that even takes you into the international realm as we think about the need for compliance.
So important, and with how quickly everything's changing, definitely so cool that you guys have that integration. So tell us a little bit more about that integration with VirgilHR.
Yeah, so like I said, we've made it available to all of our customers in each one of our different packages, and right now it's just providing access to that tool, and then eventually thinking about how do we then bring some of that into BambooHR and to what we're doing. And so it's been one of the more powerful integrations. So we've got a lot of really positive feedback from customers. From some of them have expressed so much excitement for this tool. We're building a lot of other great features, and customers are saying this is one of the ones we're most excited about because of what it unlocks for them in terms of their knowledge, understanding, and freeing them up so that they're not having to spend all this time researching across all these different databases to understand how laws are changing.
Yeah, because especially, anyone who's done HR or any side of HR, I'm a TA person.
Yeah.
That's really what takes time. As you're hiring across different states, across different places, just finding that information.
Yes.
So just having that's so cool that you guys are showing that. So I heard that Bamboo HR has some exciting news to share today here at SHRM. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, absolutely. Super excited to announce that we a partnership with Remote that allows for us to bring an employer of record solution to Bamboo HR. And the reason this is important is we've been talking about compliance, right? And that ends up being one of the biggest hurdles for companies being able to expand internationally, is that they understand that, oh no, I now have to set up an entity in a country. I have to then stay compliant with the laws in that country. And that can take anywhere from 25 to 100K in setup fees. It takes 6 to 18 months. But we hear that more and more companies are wanting to expand globally. About 71% added international employees last year. 90% are planning to do it in the next 5 years. As we see the change in remote work and the way the companies are changing, hiring internationally in order to solve challenges of businesses is becoming more and more of a need. And that's why we wanted to bring this employer of record solution. And so what we've done as we partner with Remote is we've built an experience that's far beyond any integration. It's actually an embedded experience in Bamboo. So like our customers do today, when they hire and onboard a new employee and then manage them in their database, all of that will happen in BambooHR using the back-end engine of Remote with all of the information they need for any given country. And so it's dynamic in changing to the needs of capturing that information. And then Remote takes care of all of the compliance on the back end and making sure that employee is paid right, they have the benefits correctly. And it really allows companies to be able to expand their global reach and be able to actually take that first step in hiring internationally.
That's so cool. And I really been a fan of Bamboo HR for many, many years and used it. How you guys stay on top of things and you listen to what the market is needing and just bring that in. That's going to be huge, I think, for your customers. Have you had a few people test it out and see what they thought?
Well, yeah, I mean, we've actually been talking about it with our customers for a while, and we actually have a wait list building, and we have thousands of customers that are on the wait list saying, I'm ready, I'm interested, I'm signing up. And many of them actually they're in multiple countries, they're already using an EOR, but they want to consolidate into using one tool, one platform, so that all their data is working together. And so, yeah, we've received tons of interest. We've had a lot of people here at SHRM expressing interest as well, and they've been added to the wait list as we start to now have these people on board into this new solution. So
amazing. So anyone who knows me knows I always do rapid fire questions.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. What's one HR myth that you wish would go away?
Good question. I think one of the myths that I think needs to go away is that HR doesn't have a seat at the table. I think for some in HR, they feel like they're on the outside looking in. And I think the myth should go away that HR is a seat at the table. They should have a voice in strategy for an organization and how the people are managed. If not, then organizations are going to suffer.
Yes, definitely true. And we do have a seat at the table. I agree with that.
Yeah.
What's one underrated HR skill that's going to be critical in the next 5 years?
Well, I think this brings us back to the conversation about AI, which is that the human aspect that HR brings, they really humanize everything at an organization. And that's going to be critical. With AI, that's going to bring in more of that automation and but it also takes away some of that human interaction, that human thinking as well. We need HR to step in and make sure that humans still come first, that the human perspective is still represented, to ensure we have the right balance between how humans and AI sort of transform businesses.
Perfect. All right, last one. If you could instantly fix one HR challenge, what would you choose?
One HR challenge, I think one of the challenges I would change is that I feel like HR has to be constantly answering questions for every and all employees, that they're constantly asking same questions over and over again. And that just bogs them down from being able to do more strategic work. So it's really taking away a lot of the work that really is unnecessary for HR to do. And we actually have a tool at Bamboo called Ask BambooHR, which allows for employees to ask questions around their data, around who's reporting to whom, but also questions about policies as well. So the HR can be freed up to work on the things that matter to them most. So it's really about removing the mundane work of just answering repetitive questions over and over again.
I'm sure everyone would appreciate a world where that's not where we spend most of our day, because it really does take time. But it comes back to us being so human centric and wanting to help our employees.
100%. And but like I was saying, I just feel like there's more valuable ways that HR can show up in the human world versus just having to answer the same questions again and again,
So this has been a great conversation. How can listeners connect with you and learn more about you and BambooHR?
Yeah, absolutely. Anyone can go to BambooHR.com. That's a place where they can go and learn about our solution and our platform as well. We're here at SHRM. Come see us at booth. I think 3241, I think, is our booth number. So come see us. We've got our CEO, Brad's doing a keynote tomorrow that people can come and listen to, which is going to be pretty exciting. And but yeah, we'd love to chat with anyone that's interested. Just come to our website, let us know, and we'll sync up.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been great.